Oh, Disneyland Paris.
I love this park so much. It's just so wildly and wonderfully different from all the others.
And yet, it's the same Disney magic worldwide that makes each Disney park feel like home.
Oh, that's beautiful.
But still, there's just something extra special about Disneyland Paris.
Have I mentioned that until Shanghai, this was the biggest Disney Magic Kingdom park in the world?
That is, in terms of size.
In terms of rides, well, it's one of the smaller Magic Kingdom parks.
Actually, it's funny because of the 3 Magic Kingdom style parks that I visit, Disneyland, Magic Kingdom, and Disneyland Paris.
In terms of rides, the smaller the park is, the more rides there are.
Disneyland is the smallest park area-wise, but has somewhere in the high 30s of rides, 36, 37 rides, something like that.
Magic Kingdom is much larger than Disneyland, but only has like 26, 27 rides, somewhere in that neighborhood in the high 20s.
And Disneyland Paris, which is by far the biggest park that I've been to,
area-wise, has somewhere in the high teens of rides. Not very many rides here.
But that's not necessarily a bad thing, as a matter of fact.
I think that might be one of the things that makes me love Disneyland Paris so much.
Just turn around. Everywhere you look,
there's so much space.
So much room is devoted to theming your environment.
You actually do end up feeling like you're completely immersed in a whole new world.
Whole new old worlds?
And whole new worlds too.
That are
old.
New worlds that are old-timey, brand new, future-y, old.
Yeah, they got this too.
But it's not just having Discoveryland, and it's not just having fewer rides that makes Disneyland Paris so different from the Disneyland at home.
Just because they're a little shorter on rides doesn't mean they've skimped on attractions.
Which brings us around to the subject of today's adventure.
The wild, wacky, and wonderful walkthroughs of Disneyland Paris.
That's right, this park may not be packed with rides,
but compared to the parks in the USA, it feels positively packed with walkthroughs.
Which is a really cool way to turn these environments into attractions themselves, starting with the castle.
Now in the original Disneyland, we have a small walkthrough attraction upstairs in our castle.
But it's nothing like this. Would you look at all of this? The amazing views, the wonderful stained glass, the storytelling, the amazing props. The upstairs of this Sleeping Beauty castle is simply fantastic. But it's not just the amazing walkthrough in the castle or this fantastic balcony view. Because let's not forget that way down below, beneath Merlin's shop, is the lair of Merlin's little friend. My absolute favorite part of Disneyland Paris, the freaking dragon's lair. This mythical creature's lair is so mighty, so strange. And would you look at the size of that beast? That right there is awesome. Look at that, Disneyland Paris turning the castle into an attraction complete with sleeping dragons. Of course, if you've been watching these videos, you've already seen the dragon.
Oh, but don't you worry. We're just getting started today.
If you think turning the castle that was already going to be there anyways into an attraction is good, wait until you see what they've done with the entrance to Frontierland. This is one of the coolest and weirdest things about Disneyland Paris's Frontierland. Just past Pocahontas's Indian village there is the entrance to the land, which just like classic Disneyland in Anaheim is made like a big log fort stockade. But unlike the original one at Disneyland, you can climb all over the one at Disneyland Paris. Oh, okay, so kind of like Fort Wilderness on the old Tom Sawyer Island, right? Well, kinda. Except that they've gone the extra mile and turned this fort into an attraction. Welcome one and all, you varmints, to the legends of the Wild West. Let's climb up into the old fort together, shall we? Well, look at what we have here. It's the quartermaster's office. Looks like he's got some mighty fine onions in stock today. And look at them spuds down there. Ooh, and butt beats. Nothing like a good butt beat. All right. Come on up the stairs here now. And my, well, looky what we have here. A song about Sacramento and inside this window, the first of many mannequins illustrating the legends of the Wild West. This first mannequin here is Le Prospecteur, or
the 49er.
Well, Eureka! It's gold!
And check this out. Look at this freaking fort. You can climb all the way across here, all the way around. And every couple of feet is another example of a Western legend. Oh, this one's the outlaw, waiting for a jailbreak, or as it says in French, dans la tente de l'invasion. Oh, snap, there he is. Look at that. That is the face of pure evil.
Yeah.
You know what he's in for? Serial jaywalking. He was jaywalking with a box of cereal. He's a serial jaywalker.
Thank goodness the sheriff got this varmint off the street.
Oh, and there's still plenty more. Like, check out Gaston's house here.
I use antlers in all of my decorating.
Oh my, what a guy, that Gaston. In reality, it's just sort of a little extra room in the fort with an extra box of denim. You know, in case you want to go denim on denim alley. There's your box. I love that there's so many props in here. You see wagon wheels, an old trunk. I was expecting that. What I wasn't expecting was this freaking giant axe inside of that box. Just loose. Rusty metal blade, authentic craftsmanship. Just loose, just hanging out on a shelf down here. Not nailed down anything. I'm just gonna put that right up here for now, away from the children. And get out of here.
Well, they don't call it the Wild West for nothing.
Further on in the fort, they've got these sweet telescopes. She's a peeping Tom. She just loves to peep. And then, even more Western legends.
Like this fella right here, the lawman.
Looks like he's cleaning up his gun for some action.
I wouldn't want to mess with that there, cowboy.
And then last but not least, down at the bottom, the king of the wild frontier himself, Davy Crockett. What the heck is going on in here? It looks like Davy Crockett keeps shooting behind himself. The bullet is ricocheting around. Then he's catching it in his teeth. Fitz Parker, you crazy! Whoa, poor Buddy Ebsen's gonna go deaf. All right, and then weirdly, after you exit, just when you think you're done,
They hit you with one last bonus, hombre.
the great showman himself,
Buffalo Bill Cody.
And there you have it, folks.
The legends of the Wild West.
Of course, it's also worth mentioning that behind Phantom Manor is the crazy large Boot Hill Cemetery that you can wander through. But really, at the end of the day, it's really part of Phantom Manor and not necessarily its own thing. But that's okay, because we're still not done.
Because if you thought we did a lot of walking in Frontierland, then Adventureland here's gonna blow your mind.
Check this place out. It's a serious adventure just to wander around here. Even going inside of the restaurants and the shops make you feel like you're in a whole new world. How completely and utterly bizarre is this, huh? Bizarre. Oh, and if you think that's bizarre, how about this painting of Genie back in the 70s? Sick mustache, bro.
Lowrider Genie.
And speaking of Genie, that leads us right to our next walkthrough attraction, right inside the very entrance to Adventureland, Aladdin's Enchanted Passage. Now, some of you have already seen this because I did film it last year, but we're back, of course, because it's one of the coolest walkthrough attractions anywhere. The whole story of Aladdin set out in elaborate diorama form. And it doesn't hurt that all the hallways and passageways these dioramas are in really make you feel like you're in the world of Aladdin. Oh, check this out, Allie. It's my favorite part. Jafar getting a hernia. That looks incredibly painful. The look on that guy's face. Oh. Meanwhile, Aladdin looks happy. He's getting a lot of attention over here. Oh, look! A magic lamp! A magic lamp! Oh, it's a regular lamp. No magic.
I really thought I was gonna get a genie this time. I thought it was my time.
Anyway, Jafar turns into a giant sexy cobra. Genie gets scared for some reason, and then Abu has to single-handedly defeat Jafar. It's a pretty girlfriend who's also rich. And the genie turns into a creepy moon. And that's basically it. Ciao, adios.
Later, dudes.
Side note quickly, it's interesting that they've turned all the entrances to the lands into walkthrough attractions. The entrance to Fantasyland, the castle, is a walkthrough. The entrance to Adventureland here, Aladdin's thing, a walkthrough. The entrance to Frontierland here, Adventures of the Wild West, walkthrough. Then at the entrance to Discoveryland, nothing. Just this little ball
a stick thingy and then that's it. Hey, what happened here, huh? Hey, what happened? Anyway, just a side note. And now back to Adventureland, which, as we showed you just a few days ago, is home to Adventure Isle, which is home to like 1 billion walkthrough attractions, like Captain Hook's ship, the Jolly Roger, and Skull Rock, which you can go inside of. And it's also home to a crazy toddler-sized pirate playground, the Swiss Family Robinson's Treehouse, a walkthrough attraction if I've ever seen one, very similar to the one at Magic Kingdom in Florida and the one that used to be at Disneyland, and trail after trail, waterfall after waterfall, bridge after bridge after bridge after bridge after bridge. Oh Lord, help me! But it's not just terrors high above Adventure Isle. There are also walkthrough terrors down below. Because Adventure Isle features cave after cave after cave after cave. Just twist after turn after twist after turn. And then right when you think you're out and you're finished, there's even more caves to explore. Just when your eyes got readjusted to the light, you head back down into some more dark, twisting, turning, confusing.
Allie, I don't want to alarm you, but I think we're lost.
I know it seems safer because there's other people down here, but they all look lost too. Oh boy.
Well, at least they're getting some fun pics.
What a fun one. Oh, we found the outside again. And at last I see the light. See? What I tell you, Adventure Isle is insane.
It's like Tom Sawyer Island to the power of 1 billion pirates.
Now time to make our way through the Geppetto's Raft themed side of this restaurant,
which leads through the restaurant,
from Adventureland into the village house,
out of the restaurant, and on to the other side, which of course is in
Fantasyland. And I should mention, by the way, that even though it looks just like the village house here, it's called Au Chalet de la Marionnette restaurant. So it's the chalet of the puppet.
Which honestly, it makes just as much sense, I guess, to have it in French as German. I always thought Pinocchio was German, just because the village house, you know, and Disneyland's all Swiss and Germany themed.
Nope, he's Italian.
Well, anyway, we've transitioned back to Fantasyland, the most beautiful land in any Disney park I've ever been into. And we're back here because it's more than just the castle you walk through here. Let's not forget about Alice's Curious Labyrinth. Yes, I know we just filmed this whole thing the other day, but how could I not include the weird walk through the world of Alice in Wonderland? Like, how good is this? What better way to feel like you're in the world of Alice in Wonderland than to physically walk through the world of Alice in Wonderland? To be honest, it's quite delightful. Pretty awesome. You can even visit the Queen's castle. But spoiler alert, she's kind of cranky. And she's not always home, although she does have great decorating style. Hidden Mickey! Dun, 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 dun. See? Walk through attractions everywhere. Now, how do we get out of here? Just don't ask her for directions. Excuse me, sir. Do you know the way out? Oh, you do? Oh, he did! See, so many walkthrough attractions, and it's been super difficult for me to leave out all these crazy photo ops, and small cafes, and old abandoned attractions that still serve food and provide atmosphere. Like, it's really tempting to try to include Toad Hall, the restaurant, or Stromboli's cart, or especially the shops like Geppetto's Toy Shop, or Sir Mickey's with the giant beanstalk, and the giant peeping giant up there in the window. Hey, he's a peeping Tom. Ooh, or how about this? Check out the Snow White gift shop between the ride and the castle over here. Right in here, the outside may look like nothing, but look at the inside. It's the 7 Dwarves whole cottage. It's the whole freaking thing. With the little animal friends out in front doing the laundry, and look at this. A real thatched roof. And then look, another inside with the entire interior of the dwarves downstairs on display, including all of their personalized mugs. And look at this, even their beds. Okay, I have to stop right here before I show you any more details. But you see what I'm saying? It is so difficult not to include these things as walk-through attractions because They basically are. They just also happen to sell a little food and merchandise. But it's this crazy level of theming, this insane attention to detail that makes Disneyland Paris just so completely different and unique. For my money, it's just one of the most beautiful places on Earth. And there you have it. That's why I love it. So many crazy, weird walk-through attractions. Oh, wait a minute. I almost forgot. Discoveryland. Of course, it doesn't have a walk-through attraction at its very anticlimactic entrance. But I nearly forgot. Discoveryland does have a walkthrough. And it really takes the whole Discoveryland theme up a notch. Because you see, Discoveryland is very steampunk themed. It's a very big homage to Tony Baxter's love of Jules Verne. Tony Baxter being the Imagineer that came up with the whole Discoveryland thing, and Jules Verne, of course, being the original sci-fi guy. Author of Journey to the Center of the Earth, I think From the Earth to the Moon, and of course, Around the World in 80 Days. And most importantly for our purposes at the moment, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Ladies and germs, feast your eyes on this, the Nautilus. This is where the Jules Verne theme gets literal. Look at that. Captain Nemo's submarine! Sorry, sometimes I get excited and then I sound like submarine! And no, this is not the entrance to a Disneyland-style submarine ride. It is, you guessed it, a walk-through attraction where you can actually visit Captain Nemo's submarine in the Mysteries of the Nautilus, where guests get to go inside Captain Nemo's sub in the Mystery of the Nautilus. This is the big one, the one I've been waiting for all my life. The ultimate walk-through Disney attraction based on the writings of Jules and Verne. Sorry guys, I had to. I love Back to the Future. Anyway, here we go. Down the hatch. Okay. Down into the depths we go. Look at all of this fantastic steampunk theming. You might be able to hear that. That's the voice of Captain Nemo in multiple languages. Have you ever seen 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea?
One time.
The Disney version? It's actually really good. You got, what's his name? Kirk Douglas? James Mason, I believe, as Captain Nemo. Look at this tunnel here. We're under the water. Clearly Disney was expecting long lines for this Nautilus attraction. I don't know that there's ever really that long of lines, but look, here we are. It's the Nautilus. Entrez-vous, madame. Enchanted. Here we go. Whoa, look at this. The treasures of the Nautilus, collected by Captain Nemo. He's got more rich stuff than One-Eyed Willie. This is so freaking cool. Captain Nemo's Nautilus. And look at this. It's Captain Nemo's freaking bedroom. After all these walkthroughs, I could use a nap myself. So much detail. Dang, Captain Nemo was a short guy. His bed is only 1 alley long.
Yeah, I could fit on there.
Yeah, and only you. There's no way I could ever sleep on that bed. Just you and very small kids. Now I know the kids aren't all fighting to watch that old classic Disney DVD of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Even in 1992 when they built this park, I don't know the kids were super pumped on watching that old VHS. So maybe all the young kids today aren't super excited about seeing Captain Nemo sink, but I am. You know, as a kid, I grew up with the Disney version of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. You know, watching Kirk Douglas snitch on old Nemo and exposing the location of Vulcania. So it wasn't until I was way older that I actually found out that Captain Nemo in the book was originally Indian. I actually think that's kind of cool that Jules Verne back then was writing that the mastermind, this genius Captain Nemo, was Indian in a time when Indians weren't getting that good of a reputation in parts of Europe. I just thought that was a very interesting and forward-thinking fact. Look at this little dive spot right there so they can walk on the bottom of the Atlantic. Check out Atlantis in the book. And the movie there in the Pacific. No big deal, I just happen to know. Oh, and check it out. The best part. It's the belly of the beast. The Grand Salon, if you will. of the Nautilus. Would you look at the size of this submarine? You know, for living under the sea, Captain Nemo's not doing bad in the square footage department. Look at the size of these viewing ports, and oh, look at this. Captain Nemo. What the heck? What in the world is that? Oh my God! It's the Kraken! Would you look at the size of that beast? This window is nearly 2 alleys tall, so I have no idea how big that squid is. But he's a big boy, and he looks mighty angry. Just between us girls, there's actually a big window thing that's supposed to close and then open up to reveal the angry sea monster outside normally, but it's sort of stuck open, so you can just see him all the time, which is great. Because who doesn't like a visit with old Squidward, huh? Wow, Squidward looks a little different than I remember him looking on TV. Where was I? Oh yeah! Captain Nemo's organ. Look at this thing right here. His face. Ah! The Captain! Captain Nemo's haunted organ! Interestingly, one of the very first, earliest attractions at Disneyland's Tomorrowland in Anaheim was a walk-through attraction of the sets and some of the props from Disney's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. And that included Captain Nemo's organ, the original one from the movie. This organ, though, is actually a replica because the original organ from the movie is still at Disneyland in Anaheim. And if any of you have been to Anaheim's Disneyland, I almost guarantee you've seen it. Where? Inside of the Haunted Mansion. That's right. Captain Nemo's original organ was repurposed for use in the ballroom scene of Anaheim's Haunted Mansion. Which means that every copy of Haunted Mansion, say in Magic Kingdom or in Tokyo or anywhere else where they have that organ, like Phantom Manor here, they've been making copies of Captain Nemo's organ. Which is why I think it's very interesting that this copy here, that's actually meant to be Nemo's organ, has an interesting hidden ghost effect. No matter where they put this thing, it just stays haunted. All right, after leaving the main gallery, so to speak, of the Nautilus, we head right on out here and make our way over to the engine room. Whoa, check this out. This is any steampunk fan's dream come true. Captain Nemo was a genius! Electrical power in the 19th century? He's a madman! He's insane! Or is he a visionary? Oh! And look at the size of Captain Nemo's wrench! That's an alley-long wrench! That is impressive. Ladies love a mad scientist with a big old wrench. See how amazing all these walkthroughs are? I mean, I haven't seen 20,000 Leagues since I was a kid. And even now, I feel like I've gone into the world of Captain Nemo's submarine. I ride a lot of rides, and they don't always make me want to go and watch the movie. But now I feel like I've snooped around in another dude's submarine, and I really want to go watch 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea now and just get into it. Anyway, I've now shown way more detail of Captain Nemo's submarine than I meant to do. But come on, how often am I in Disneyland Paris, and how often can we check out the inside of the Nautilus? Well, there you go. Some of the weirdest theme park attractions in the world. The wild, the wonderful, and the weird walk-through attractions of Disneyland Paris. I hope you enjoyed exploring with us under the sea, in new frontiers, in the land of adventure, and yes, even in the land of fantasy. Well, it looks like the sun is going down, so it's time to end this little video. But before we do, we just have to let you all know that something very important happened today. Earlier on today, we were exploring this very fort when we all made an unfortunate discovery down in Gaston's house. You will all remember that earlier we found a loose prop axe. Clearly someone had pried the prop loose from the wall, seen a dangerous act, and then just thrown it on the shelves where anybody could have found it, where anybody did find it. Well, I'm happy to report that we have reported the loose axe to the cast members, and they've safely taken it away. Who knows how many lives we've saved today? Truly, we've done our duty. We can go home and sleep well. See you all later. Bye-bye.
Un monstre gigantesque par tribord devant.
Oh, I must have fallen asleep. Where's Allie? Allie! Allie! I fell asleep! Electrical power in the 19th century? He's a madman! He's insane! Or is he a visionary?